Hello, I'm Suzanne from Making It in Maine. Welcome if you are new, and thanks for coming back if you are a return visitor. I am working toward finishing something else today. I think this YouTube channel is a good motivation for me to get things done, get things finished. We all need motivators in life. Well, maybe not everybody, but some of us, I think, at times need a little motivation, need a little kick in the pants to get things done. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing in the living room. So hold tight. I showed you this quilt top in a previous video when I was showing several of my UFOs, aka unfinished objects. So I got this out this morning with the intention of taking it to the long arm quilter. So I have backing fabric and fabric for binding. So I have just ripped this large piece in half because it's not wide enough to do the whole back. So I have ripped it in half, and I need to sew the halves together to make size sufficient to back the entire quilt. This was fabric, a Moda fabric line called Hello Luscious by Basic Gray. It's upside down, but anyway, Basic Gray, Hello Luscious. Yeah, I fell in love with this quilt several years ago when I made it, and it's time to get it done. I had been saving it to hopefully quilt myself, and at this point I would rather just have a finished quilt than hold on to it, because who knows when I will get around to machine quilting it myself. I will show you the fabric I have for binding. That's one possible print for binding, and that's probably the one I will go with. I hope I have enough. And this is another print, but I think the contrast of this will be much better because that just blends in too much. So I think this is what I'm going to go with. All right, I have dragged out another quilt again that I was holding on to practice some more machine quilting on my own. But I think I would just rather get it done, have a finished quilt, reduce my unfinished objects. Let me clear this one away and I will show you the other one. Here is the other quilt that I want to have finished. And you know, I might hold on to this to practice more machine quilting if it were not for what I chose for backing, which is minky fabric, this navy blue minky. My machine just doesn't do well. I have tried a small sample piece before, and it doesn't really like quilting over minky. So anyway, I would rather get it done. And this fabric line, I don't remember if this was a Moda fabric line. I wouldn't be at all surprised. And I don't know how this lovely woman pronounces her name, but there it is. And I think I showed you this book once before. It has sweet, sweet little embroidery designs in it, and makes me want to get after it. Makes me want to do some. So anyway, this is another thing that's going to get done. Yay! Yay for finishing things. I will obviously have to prepare bindings for them, and I still need to do the binding for my granddaughter's quilt. Maybe today I can get that cut. We shall see. Oh yes, I do have to remove all of the pins that I put in it in anticipation of my own machine quilting desire. So gotta take all the pins out. The pins have now been removed. Ready to go. I thought I would show you once again. I showed it in a previous video, the other skip quilt, this fabric line, the Charm Pack squares. The Charm Pack is from the same designer as the skip quilt. That's the name of this design. A decent little quilt pattern that showcases your charm squares. Anyway, same designer. It's called a skip quilt. And this one I like better for some reason. I like the army green, the olive green in it. So anyway, I thought I would show that if I can easily get my hands on the third skip quilt I made that was given as a gift. I will add that. I'm upstairs in the sewing room where I have been working on the floor to do my whole floor cloth. It's a very hot day, so curtains are pulled to keep out the sun. So if the lighting is not great, that is why. Here is the same pattern and the same line of fabric. This one was machine quilted and given away as a gift. And when I found this on my computer, the photo was labeled line dance. So I don't know why I've been calling this a skip quilt, because it's called line dance. While I was looking for that last quilt, I came across this one and thought I would show it to you, since it's using that same adorable line of fabric. And you know what? I just went back to see if I titled this photograph, and sure enough, this is the skip quilt, and the others are line dance. And now I'm back in my sewing room. If you are just here for the first time, why all the blank wall? Well, it's because I am redoing this room. I painted it last year. It had been pink to fit in with my crazy pink and brown fetish. And it was never the pink I wanted, so I painted over it last year. And now I am working on the floor. You can look at a previous video to see what's happening with the floor. But I am up here now, right now, not to do the floor because I don't have enough time for that today. So I'm up here to iron the backing fabric for the Hello Luscious quilt that I showed you in my living room. And I ripped this really long piece of fabric in half instead of cutting it with my rotary cutter. I think, oh, no wonder it doesn't feel like a very powerful iron because I'm on a acetate acrylic setting. Well, I don't ever iron on that setting. I do not have those materials. So I have just bumped it up to number 6. And while that is heating up more, I am going to get my spray bottle of water because I don't use the spray in this iron. So I shall be right back. I have returned with my spray bottle, and this is a bottle that I just keep refilling. It once had Mary Ellen's Best Press in it, scent free because I don't like chemicals. But anyway, I don't really use that product anymore, so I just keep refilling this with plain old water. So, and I don't have one of those fancy irons. This is just a Black & Decker. It does the trick. Maybe someday I'll have one of those fancy irons that makes a little noise and pops up and you don't have to sit it like that each time. Alicio, I think those are called. I'm not sure. Boy, this fabric is very wrinkly. Wrinkly. So I have, yeah, I'm just anxious to get this quilt done and get some other things done. I'm looking over there on the other side of the camera at the sort of lobster theme, oceany themed quilt top that I did. Wondering if I should take that to the long armor too, except that I want to do a bit of a border on that quilt. So I guess I will settle for taking this Hello Luscious quilt and my little skip quilt. I'd like to have one of those ironing boards, and maybe I'll make one that's larger for ironing quilts and big pieces of fabric, so you don't have to move it around as much. Here in Maine, I think it's next weekend, there's going to be Maine Quilts quilt show. And I am going to Portsmouth that weekend with my Buddhist pal to meet up with another Buddhist friend. And so I don't know if I'm going to squeeze the quilt show in that weekend or not. Yeah, actually I'm going to Portsmouth on a Friday. Was able to take the day off, so I probably can squeeze the quilt show in. I won't be filming there, that's for sure. Way too many people, way too much noise. Yeah, it's possible that I could shoot a little bit of video and extract the noise. Maybe I'll do that. We shall see. Every time I say we shall see, I want to say we shall see, said Big Max. From the children's book I had as a kid, and I can read book called Big Max. Here's a photo of that book, and throughout it, when you're reading, you read, we shall see, said Big Max. So, are you a crafter? Are you a crafter? Are you a maker? What are you making these days? What are you working on? And how many unfinished projects, unfinished objects, UFOs do you have? I would love to know in the comments, because I know I'm not the only one with a lot of unfinished projects. So yeah, I'd love to know what you're working on. Is it knitting? Is it rug hooking? Is it sewing or quilting? Is it needle punching? Is it gardening? What are you doing? How are you spending your time? Yes, yes, yes. Well, I don't think you want to watch me iron all of this fabric, so I'll stop for now and be back a bit later. As you can see, the two pieces of fabric have been stitched together. I just pressed the seams open, and now I am going to see about taking it to my long arm quilter. It has been a busy day. I just got back from my hairstylist. I went a little shorter this time. Yeah, just looking at some older pictures of me recently, and yeah, I hadn't gone quite so short for a while because I have to pull my hair back, and so I'm always worried that I won't have enough to pull back. And my bangs are shorter than they usually are. And I got my mustache waxed. So if I'm a little red up there, that's why. That's the first time I've had my mustache waxed in ages, years. Why, ladies, do we as females have to suffer with facial hair? Gotta be a hormonal thing, eh? Anyway, normally I look for the dark ones or the bristly ones and yank them out, but today I decided to get the wax. So before my hair appointment, I dropped off those 2 quilts to the long arm quilter. So that's exciting. You just have to move forward, just take steps forward to make positive change in our lives. We can't get places if we don't move. So, yeah. Forward momentum in every aspect of our life, in our human revolution, which just basically means personal growth. That's the term that is used in the Buddhism that I practice, Nichiren Buddhism. So, yeah, forward growth, human revolution, polishing ourselves, and striving toward, with faith, for the life that we want. So that is our wrap for today. This dress, I can't tell you how many years I have had this dress. I call it my summer uniform because it's so loose and cool and comfortable. And yeah, I had a purple and green one like it also. I love this dress. I wish it was a different style sleeve sometimes, but anyway, I love this dress. And at some point, I'd like to see if I could make a replica of it. Different fabric, of course, but I'd like to see if I could make a replica. So, like this video if you like it. If you like what you've seen about quilts and mustaches. Share if you know somebody else who might be interested in the things I talk about, the things I show, the things I do. And I would dearly, dearly love it if you would subscribe. It'll help my channel grow. It will help me to get seen by the folks at YouTube. And my goal is to be a full-time maker, or going about in Maine more, showing more about Maine and the makers in Maine. And I will be doing that. It's just a matter of scheduling people. My hairstylist gave me a card today. She has this guy make tables for her, really lovely tables. So he's somebody that's been on my radar. So yeah, stop giving it lip service, Suzanne, and do it. Yeah, it's just a matter of carving out weekend time to do it. Because as you've heard me mention, if you've been here before, I work full-time. I'm a full-time baker. So it's about carving out time to do the things that I am most passionate about. So, dear ones, that's it for today. From my pea-picking heart, my mother used to say that. From my pea-picking heart, I don't know what that means, where that came from, but from my Buddha heart to your Buddha heart, because we all have the Buddha within us. And chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo awakens the Buddha that is inside of us, our innate wisdom, compassion, and courage. So from my Buddha heart to yours, I hope you stop back soon. Bye for now.